Hey guys, it's Nixia Phoenix, and today I feel like my video was like being slow. It wasn't connecting with what I was actually. Anyway, today's video is a little bit different, a bit sensitive. Um, so something really crazy happened last night at my apartment, and somebody was shot and killed. um, and I was just hoping it wasn't somebody I knew. Um, I saw the body. Um, I felt like I was on a TV show, like one of those NCIS shows or something. It was kind of crazy. But somebody that I knew came and said, I don't know if it's somebody you know, I don't think it's anybody you know, but I think it might have been someone that graped somebody. I'm going to say the word grape. That's usually what the word that people say, so they don't say the actual word. You know what I mean, though. And I was like, the whole time, I was like kind of worried. I was like, oh my god, who got shot? Who died? Is it somebody I know? Because like I just I just got over and healed from somebody I knew dying, um, getting shot and dying. I just healed from that, and the process of healing from that was not a good thing. It was the towards the end of my addiction of drugs. I didn't have really a drug of choice. I liked uppers. Any kind of upper I would get, I would like it. But the one that really stuck, I guess, became worse than the other ones was crack. So I've been doing drugs other than weed um, for about 19, 20. Do you count 19? 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay, so I stopped 24. No, so I stopped in February 24. That's when everything stopped. So I was, doing drugs and stuff for about 5 years. Um, but mostly uppers. Like it was always uppers, and then sometimes crack. I did meth. I did pills. Um, things like ecstasy and things like that. I'm not a party person, and I'm not a partier. So these weren't for partying or anything. I did crack, meth, pills. Um, I drank a lot. Um, and I've had a horrible, fucked up life. I had a pretty shitty fucking life, and nobody's was willing to help me. No therapy. If I had therapy, they wouldn't talk about, well, this is what you put in the laundry. You put the whites in, you kind of separate the whites, and then you put the colors. And I'm just like, okay, can we talk about actual real shit, please? Like, I'm literally fighting for my life here, and I'm just like, okay. You put the whites. At least I know that. I know that. Um, so that's the kind of therapy I had. A lot of the therapy that has actually worked. The only thing that's actually helped me was self therapy, self healing, and spirituality, religion, because that's the only thing that was going to help me. Other people, they want to help you, but it's like their way of sharing their own views and putting those on you because you're vulnerable, and it's very obvious, but they know that they're doing that, but they know that you can't do anything about it. So it's like that, right? So it's like the only thing, I did have, like, because of self therapy, I did have a lot of knowledge of psychiatry and therapy and stuff like that, and how the brain works, and how, like, Pavlov's dog, and and manipulation and controlling and stuff like that, and training your brain and stuff. So I'm just like, Scooby Snap, treat here, puppy. You sit. Okay, here's a treat. Basically like that. That's what drugs were for me. I'm very scientific minded. I'm not a very emotional person. More science based minded. I'm not a partier. I will, for the next 1,000 trillion years, I will choose a book over going out and talking to somebody or a party any day, every day. You can't make me, especially now, you can't make me go out. You can't pay me enough to go out. Because I don't do shit that I don't want to do anymore. I just don't. And I did it for other people. And I guess what? I don't do shit for other people anymore. If it's not like something I have to do, like that's gonna better me, there's no reason for me to do it. Period. And I won't pretend. So I'm not gonna pretend to enjoy something just to make somebody else feel better. I don't do that shit. I don't. So I don't party. I don't club because I think it's fucking retarded. It's stupid. I don't see any enjoyment. I don't see how people get enjoyment out of it. I just I thought people just pretended to have fun for the sake of other people, and it's like a chore. Like what? How would you go from work to a club? It's the same fucking stress. I want to relax and have fun after work. Like I'm not going to no club, but just to act yet again even more. Anyway, apparently that's not the case. People actually enjoy partying and clubbing. Okay, but um, also, I had to find certain groups, certain had to join certain friend groups and stuff to be able to get my supply too. So that kind of is annoying because I'm not like my personality is not like I don't do drugs for fun. It's not fun. It's medication. It's medicinal. I don't do drugs for fun. I don't think it's fun or cool or cute or anything. Um, and I don't relate to drug users or drug addicts, like partiers and stuff like that, at all. Like, at all. Like, I can't even explain to you how much I don't relate to them. Like, we're like night and day. Like, not at all. But yeah, I guess, an addict. So, I learned about addiction before I even became addicted because my dad was in AA. So I knew what addiction was and how where it stemmed from. And I did drugs and alcohol. I came with that knowledge in mind, and I came with the knowledge of how not to get addicted. And so I did it. I did all the things that you're supposed to do, all the science-based things, all the real things, not just emotional or um, hobby or fun things, like actual clinical based studies. Um, and of course, that stopped when I was peer pressured. And I mean, I'm looking at people who are peer pressured, and I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, that is, did the reality just like morph into high school or something? Because I'm just like, I'm looking at these people who are peer pressured, I'm just like, bro, that's cringy, right? I thought people would stop doing that after they turned 13. And all I could do was just laugh at these people. And just cringe. It's like, yikes, bro. It's cringy. But there are all these people who coercion. There was coercion. There was lots of things going on. And they abused, they these people, like, they have nothing but, because I always grew up with the thought of no one cares enough about you to, like, really look at your face long enough to see all the imperfections in your face. Nobody really, all the weird ticks that you do. Nobody's looking at you that much or cares about you that much to really actually notice that. So I grew up with that, right? And so I went out in the world with that mentality. And so when it actually happened, when people actually, like, I don't know, stalked me or, like, observed me or studied me, like, under a microscope, it was really weird to me. It was really weird. I didn't know how to. I'm a very personal um person because I think, that's the correct way to live. You don't share every single bit of knowledge about your entire life and everything that you do every single second of the day and all that stuff. We just don't, like, you just live your life. um, and but there was a reason I'm talking about the drug use, and I forgot. There was a reason. This video isn't about drug use, which I've been talking about it for like 11, 12 minutes. But I used to think I was the real type of drug addict. Like, it's like people who party and just, oh, I tried it because it was fun or cool, and then I just got addicted to it. I'm just like, so you're not really a real addict. I guess they are. And actually, that's the majority of addicts. So I used to think the majority of addicts was self-medication, but no. It's because they had an easy life and they just wanted to have fun and party. Like, bro, don't party. Listen to your mommy and daddy, okay? Drugs is bad, okay? Drinking your diamond is bad. Just, I don't have no sympathy for you. I cannot relate to you at all. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I was bullied by people who were those kind of people while they were doing drugs and when they were sober. In a sober program, they would bully me because I wasn't a real addict, because I self medicated instead of just partied. Like, oh, you don't look like an addict. I'm like, bro, an addict, the actual drug addict saying, you don't look like an addict. Like, there is no fucking, as an addict, you should know this. There is no look to an addict. You just are one. There's no, the fact that somebody's, like, many people said it, I'm just like, you're not a real addict, are you? You, man, why are you here? Your drug use is not destroying your life. Your drug use is not. You're not dependent on it. You're not dependent on your drugs. I was dependent on my drugs. I couldn't function normally. I still can't function normally like other people because I'm neurodivergent and have PTSD and depression. I will never function like normal people. Um, and yet normal is just a word. No, is actually, there's an actual group. There's the majority of people. There's a system, right? There's a system, and I don't fit into the system. Okay, that's what I mean by that. And most people do fit into the system, and I don't. And I was trying to use drugs to make me fit into the system because it worked. Maybe I shouldn't tell you this. Maybe I shouldn't tell you this because I should tell you that drugs are bad and don't ever do them. And no, it didn't work. And that everything I tried to do with drugs, it didn't work. But no, everything that my intention for using drugs worked. It's the only thing that has worked in my life. But I don't want to fucking fit in the system anymore because the system is evil. The system is bad, and I knew that already, and that's why I knew that the only thing that can actually force me to fit into the system and not to care anymore was to use drugs. To kind of the same way that therapists give people drugs, like here, like doing that meme here, we'll give you something to make you feel like good enough about how the world is falling apart, basically. And if anybody does drugs for any other reason, I don't relate to you. I don't sympathize with you. I don't. Oh no, you went to a party and you tried some drugs and you got addicted to it. Cool. Good for you. Great. Stupid. I can't relate to you, bro. Can't. Especially when you mock other people's addiction and journey through to sobriety and belittle it. Especially with those people who it's actually harder for them to become sober because medication of these mental illnesses or sobriety and you have to deal with them. You're not just dealing with like, oh, these drugs are fun, I want to keep doing it. No, you're dealing with the fact that you have to actually come and be sober and deal with all these things sober. So yes, you know what? I don't have any sympathy for you because guess what? Mine is harder. Mine is harder. That's it. Period. And I know it's not politically correct to say that. I'm not politically correct. I'm truthful. I'm not sure why I got into the drug use, but there was a guy that was killed last night in my apartment, and somebody told me that he raped somebody. And I was just like, at first I was upset. I was like, oh my god, who was it? And then when I found that out, pure relief. Pure relief. It just my body just like, and I'm just like, oh, why is everybody making a big deal out of it then? A rapist is dead. A rapist was shot, and justice was served. I'm acting like, oh no, a person got killed. No, it's not no person. It's not a person laying right there dead. It's a rapist. And I said that too, because I that's my true belief, my honest belief about these things. Um, Justice was served. If that guy actually did do what was said, because I didn't do it. I didn't say, oh man, that guy's rapist. And somebody didn't come and tell me, hey, that guy's rapist. Oh, that guy's rapist. Okay, I'm gonna go and shoot him then. No, it was already after the fact that he gets shot and killed. Okay, I didn't just go in and kill him or anything. It was already after the fact that he was killed, and I was told that, and so I was just like, oh, phew. I thought it was a human being or something. I thought it was a human being laying down on the ground. Looks like one. They really look very similar. Demons look similar to humans. They can morph and look a certain way, but they're not humans. They're not human beings. And there was an argument, and this person came up and said, "No, that's still not a reason for murder. Life is sacred." And I was just like, "Yeah, life is sacred. So what are you talking about? If you desecrate life, you're gonna get the consequences. Life is sacred. life isn't surviving or being alive. Being life. I don't think people know what life is, right? Life is not death or not death. Life is being able to actually live your life. Being able to actually, I don't even know how to explain because I don't. It's just a word that the definition of the word is the word itself. I don't know how to explain it, but life is not the opposite of death. Life is more than that. And yes, life is sacred. So when you desecrate something that is sacred, guess what? You're gonna get consequences. The world works on cause and effect. That's science. That's spirituality. That's the law of nature. That's the law of the universe. When I stub my toe on the table, ouch! I feel pain. Um, if I were to say cut my cat's tail off, it's not gonna grow back. The cat's tail is gone. And I talked about this to a friend too, and they were just like, that person doesn't understand that when you do something bad, you're gonna get something bad done to you. That's cause and effect. That's consequences. And I think a lot of these people that I think there was a reason why this person was all uppity and defending this person too, because this person isn't a good person either. But and also, it's the worst kind of man. You know what I mean? Those kinds of men that defend will fight to defend a man who raped someone, even when there's like 110% proof that that man actually did it. They were like, oh, you don't know it for a fact. You're a man. You know that man did it. It's because you're a man. So no. No. Um, that's my school alarm. Now, I wanted some more I wanted some more, because this person was saying, you need church. You don't know I was saying how this person was, because we were actually arguing about it. But we were going back and forth. And this person eventually started saying, I don't know who said it first. I was just shocked and disgusted. So I might have said something like this, but he said it too. And he said, you don't know good and evil. Your views of good and evil are skewed. You need church, not you need to go to a church, a Christian church. And it's like, you think I'm gonna find the true definition of good and evil at church? That's the most skewed definition of good and evil there possibly could be. Christianity itself worships a God that is evil. The Christian God is evil. And I usually don't say my opinions or things about. I don't think good and evil should be opinions. It's bad things are bad and good things are good. And a lot of what Christians preach, and they say, "Oh, the God says this." Well, then your God is evil. Your God is evil, and the fact that you defend him because he's God, he's a divine evil force. He's a divine evil force. So you think I'm gonna find the definition of good and evil at a Christian church? Christianity is the biggest religion, is one of the biggest. Probably, I guess it's not really. I mean, it's becoming, I think, the biggest religion of the world, and look how the state of the world. And I'm not using that as proof of that Christianity is evil. What I go based on the actual religion itself. I don't look at how people use it because people are human beings. People are flawed. So I don't look at how people interpret or change or manipulate something for their own gain. I don't look at that. I look at the actual religion itself, and it says that good things, pure good things, it demonizes those things. It villainizes and demonizes truly, purely good things. And then it preaches things that are extremely harmful and evil, in my opinion. They're harmful. They're extremely harmful mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. And so no, I'm not going to find the definition of good and evil at church. And the fact that that person told me all I needed to know about that situation and that argument and where he was coming from, what his moral compass pointed to, and why he was saying the things he was saying. And I want to, as a pagan priestess, I am going to now share the pagan morals and views of the situation. And if you have anything to add, or if you have your own opinion about this and you want to share it, I will be happy. I will love to see some comments about this. Just try to keep it civil because this can get pretty messy. But I would love to kind of debate this, I guess. And I would try to. If there are people who believe in a way that's not, I would like to also try to help them and bring them to a state of light and goodness, and explain why and help them to understand why. So my practice is mostly Greek, Hellenic. I am Native American descent. I have Native American ancestry. So that's a big part of my life, but it's like, I don't know, I see it differently. I see it as just like, oh, this Native American is just me. And then my religion is Greek, Hellenic, Pagan. So like, this is my ancestry and then this is my religion, because I believe religion is a path that you find and choose for yourself, and everybody makes that choice. I've never understood how, oh, your mom isn't pagan, or your mom isn't is your mom Christian or is your mom pagan? It doesn't. I never understood how that matters. What someone's family is, and I just doesn't make sense to my understanding of the world and my worldview. It has never clicked, even when I was considered myself Christian when I was like 10 years old. I couldn't, I just couldn't wrap my brain around that. It just doesn't work. I understand like culture and ancestry, but religion, I don't. Um, Also, I don't believe in gatekeeping religion either, because a religious worldview for me is, that's how I see the world. That's how I believe the world runs, right? Not just my corner of the world or the people that believe in this religion. No, I believe that this is how the world itself and nature itself and the universe itself and the whole, what we can even imagine as the, reality. That's how it works. That's why I'm part of that religion. And if I didn't believe it, I wouldn't be in this religion. So I always say that in most if not all my videos. If I didn't fully 100% believe that this is how reality worked, I would not be in this religion. I would be another one, or I'd be atheist or agnostic or whatever. But so I'm gonna share some views of different pagan paths, and as my definition of paganism, probably different than most people's definition of paganism. So I see Native American as a pagan religion, because my definition of paganism is different, I guess. But so the Hellenic pagan view, rape was seen as one of the gravest forms of hubris. And I talk about that. I talk about what hubris is in one of my past videos, and I'll probably put that somewhere up here. I don't know. It's a violation of personal sovereignty and natural order, which is psyche, or divine justice. So in mythology, which I do not consider mythology to be actual spiritual canon. So keep that in mind. In mythology, even gods like Apollo and Zeus are guilty of sexual assault, but mortals who committed such acts were often cursed, punished, or destroyed, sometimes by gods, sometimes by other mortals. Killing a rapist could be understood if it was framed as restoring cosmic balance, not out of rage, but righteous justice. And as a modern pagan Wiccan, justice is extremely, extremely important. It's one of the most important traits or virtues that we can possibly have. Justice. And the world is extremely short on justice. Now let's look at like a little bit of how great Hellenic paganism can say it could be if you're bad. So there's something called miasma in Hellenic paganism. Actually, I think miasma is more. I think there's actually another word for it. Because miasma is something you get. I know there's like different forms of miasma. There's like when you touch a dead animal or something, or dead thing, or you share food offerings with chthonic deities, is one thing. Or like you just pick up miasma from the environment or negative energy. But then like killing is the worst kind of miasma. And you have to have this huge ritual to cleanse yourself of it. And so there's that. So Apollo was someone who did the cleansing of miasma. And there were gods and spirits that came after you when you had miasma on you, like the Furies and the Erinyes, like that. But mostly, justice is sacred in Hellenic paganism. But spiritual cleansing is mandatory after killing, even if justified. So now, I think when it comes to this, I stand mostly with Norse pagan views on this. Norse pagan views. It's Norse society, honor, vengeance, and justice were key values. If someone harmed your family, especially with rape, which was seen as a deep dishonor, you were expected to take revenge. You were expected to take revenge. Not taking revenge for such a crime could be seen as cowardice and might bring shame to your family line. Killing the rapist would have been viewed as restoring your family's honor. There's a word D-R-E-N-G-R. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. That's that word behavior, which is being a true and honorable warrior. However, Norse people also believe in weird consequences. You might bring about a blood feud, um, ongoing revenge cycles between families. Some laws allowed wergild, wergild, blood money, instead of revenge, but for crimes like rape, violent justice was socially accepted or even praised. So revenge for rape was honorable, but there's a risk of ongoing feud or drawing the attention of spirits / ancestors demanding further blood. And then the modern pagan view, like things like Wicca and things like that. It is to center ethics around balance, free will, and natural law. Generally, killing is considered a last resort because it affects your soul and spiritual health, and violence often leads to more karmic entanglement. Self-defense or defending a loved one is usually seen as morally justifiable. If justice is absolutely denied by human systems, which we all know, at least we all should know in 2025, justice is denied almost every single time for these kinds of cases. If justice is absolutely denied by human systems, some modern pagans might believe divine or karmic justice will eventually find the rapist, even if moral systems fail. So if you don't believe what I say about justice being denied almost every single time, I want you to tell me in your own experience that you saw with your own two eyes, not somebody who told you something where that you found an article on the internet. Now, I want you to tell me an experience that you saw with your own two eyes, where you went to a courtroom, or your friend went to a courtroom, or your mother went to a courtroom, or your sister went to a courtroom, or even a brother, a father, other friend. I want you to tell me an experience that you saw with your own two eyes that the victim was not villainized and the actual villain and the bad guy was given the appropriate justice and the appropriate amount of justice equal to or above what was done to the victim. Because, and I don't know how to explain this because it is 2025, but rape, the actual act of rape, is the least amount, is the smallest part of the actual rape itself. Like the rape itself, like somebody actually forcing themselves on somebody else, that's the smallest part of the entire process and the entire trauma of it. So what that person received in an energetic quantity, right? I want you to explain to me and to tell me a event that you saw with your own two eyes. I want you to explain that to me because I would love to hear it. That would be a beautiful story to hear. But I haven't seen one. I've never seen one. And I've had many, many circumstances where, my childhood, and then when I was 15, and I'm still dealing with that today, and I will always deal with it until the day I die. When I was 16, I'm still dealing with that, and I'm going to deal with it to the day I die. When I was 19, I'm still dealing with that, and I'll deal with that to the day I die. And from 19 to 23, and I'm still dealing with that, and I will have to deal with it until the day I die. And what are the men in this situation doing? One man, he's married, has a beautiful life. Another man, he has the same life that he's always had. Not a single one of them has been punished or even acknowledged for what they did. The other man is in the military. Has a wife. The other man, I don't know because I lost track of him. And then all the other men that did that to me. They're living their life without acknowledgement. I have not seen any karma done to them. And even when karma is done, these people don't actually acknowledge or connect the dots of, oh, this bad thing is happening to me. That's because I did this. They don't connect the dots. So it doesn't connect in their brain. When a parent, the reason why a parent punishes their child, not to, oh, you see, I have control over you. That's not the actual reason. The actual reason is when a parent punishes their child, what happens in the brain? So, for example, so you do something bad. Say I knock over this cup. Okay. Your brain associates that smack on the hand, that pain, that quick pain, not that bam, not the almost life-threatening pain, but it doesn't have to be hard pain, like literally a smack on the hand that jolts the brain nerves in the brain. And maybe it takes a little few times after that, but especially it has to be a certain amount of time afterwards too. But it's not about the pain, it's about the physical sensation and the nerves processing and sending out messages to the nervous system and saying, oh, when I do this, this happens. I don't want that to happen. So I'm not going to do this. So that's why justice has to be something, it has to connect for it to actually be justice and to actually matter. The person has to connect the dots. And I talked to this about to a friend too as well. And I said, men are very extremely cocky. And the problem is, it's not that they raped somebody and got away with it. They raped someone, got away with it, and now they're mocking the person they raped and saying, ha, look at me. I'm untouchable. You can't do anything about it. Cry, little bitch. I raped you. I mean, literally. They're smiling, laughing, with this evil grin because they're seeing that they are untouched. They're literally, men in America are completely untouchable. And I'm saying in America because America is supposedly a first world country. America is supposedly what it says on the commercial for, hey, come to America. It says justice for all. So yes, I'm going to hold it accountable for what it's supposed to be. What it claims it is. And what it claims it has always been. And so when you claim something, when you claim you're something, hey, it's okay. It's okay if you are struggling to get there, but at least fight, make some effort to get there, to that point of actually being justice for all. And actually make sure you know what justice actually means as well. So, also, if a person rapes somebody, right, you gotta actually understand what rape actually does to somebody. I was told in high school by women. I was talked to and I was asked, "Why are you so upset? He used a condom. Why are you so upset? It was his sex." And it's not. It's not. The fact that he wore a condom doesn't even register in someone's brain. It's not even close to sex. It's not the same thing at all. Because even women, we society tells us it's subliminal messaging where it's just evident in our society that rape is just sex. So we have to actually, for one, we have to actually realize what rape actually is, what it actually does to somebody, how it actually affects someone, and we have to calculate the actual energetic um, harm that it does to someone, and also not just direct energetic harm, but the indirect energetic harm, because the indirect energetic harm is because of that as well, but it's just twice removed or something. But it's still, if that hadn't happened, you wouldn't have this indirect. So it's not just about when you're going to give justice to a rapist, you can't just think, okay, they had sex with someone against their will, or they had sex with someone. And yeah, nobody likes doing stuff. Sometimes you don't like doing stuff, but you have to do it sometimes. Everybody was raised like that, right? Everybody was raised with, as a child, you're like, oh, I don't want to do this. And so you're told, oh, sometimes we have to do things we don't want to do. So we already have in our brains, oh, against her will, that's not a big deal. We don't actually acknowledge the fact that what that actually means against someone's will. That's worse than murder. It's worse than death. It's worse than physical abuse. Taking someone's free will away from them, because I know, because I've had both experiences. I was whipped like crazy with a sharp broken clothes hanger, whelps, bleeding whelps all over my body. I would choose that over taking my free will, have my free will be taken. I was beat. I mean, like, punched hard in the gut. I was beat by basically a bodybuilder kind of guy, and pummeled over and over again, and I was almost killed. And I would choose that over my free will being taken. If you don't know what rape actually does to someone, I suggest you speak to as many women in your life that has been raped and try to at least get a feel for what it actually is, because it's not what you think it is. Um, and that's just the rape itself. And then, of course, you realize, oh, nobody gives a singular fuck. So your brain just numbs it out. You don't even think about the rape itself anymore. But then, how you treat it afterwards, by your friends, by the only people you had in your life to consider friends, by your grandmother, who asks you, do you really want to destroy this man's life? Well, fuck. I don't want to destroy this man's life. I want help. I want someone to help me. I want someone to care enough about me that this person gets punished because I did something wrong. And no, I never had in my head, I want to destroy this person's life. But then after that, I was told by people, yeah, I would want to destroy that person's life. Of course, hell yeah. And I don't think that way, because I don't stoop to the rapist's level in my head. I don't stoop to his level, because I'm not. That's the fucked up part about it, is that person I don't want to just rape somebody, but it raped one of the most innocent, compassionate people. You can just rape somebody who would, you know, oh, I hate you now. I'm gonna do everything I can to destroy your life. No, I just simply want. This is always simply just. Hey, remember that time when I smashed a window accidentally and I was beat really hard for it? Can that be done to somebody who, another person who did a bad thing? I got punished for things because I did bad things, so can that happen as well to somebody else? No, no, actually, sorry, he's a man. Oh, okay, I understand. Yeah, he's a man. That doesn't happen to men. Only women who are younger than 18. Sometimes if you're not lucky enough, it happens to you after you're 18, but not men. Boys, oh man, they can do whatever the fuck they want. Adult men, no, they're adults. They're our protectors. They're our saviors. We can't punish them. They give us money. They help us. They give us food, and we wouldn't. Where would we be without men? Not raped, not traumatized. That's where I would be. So, in a general modern pagan view, self-defense or defending a loved one is usually seen as morally justifiable. If this is absolutely denied, which yes, in America, it always is the case, always. And like I said, if you have an actual case where it wasn't, where actually was justice was given, I would love to see that story. I mean, I don't want an article. I don't want a news article. I want a first person, you were there account, not a second person or third person or whatever. Um, of justice absolutely denied by human systems. Some modern pagans might believe divine or karmic justice will eventually find the rapist, even if more systems fail. Some pagans embrace personal responsibility for justice but emphasize healing and restoration over revenge. Others, especially those following warrior traditions, Norse, Celtic, might lean more toward righteous vengeance if no other option exists. Defense of self or others is acceptable. Killing has heavy spiritual consequences, focus on balance, restoration, and healing where possible. So, I asked, what about Native American? And I was talking to my friend last night, and I was like, this person thinks, you know, he's Native American and everything like that. But he's getting like this Christianized, whitewashed, colonizer kind of spiritual view. Not like actual. And so I'm like, dude, you know what happened when, in a village, right? And in an American village. And the 40 men were out. And they come back and I see that women raped. Oh, sorry, dude. Your scalp is gone. You're gonna be scalped. They don't play. They don't play. And of course, people that came and called them barbaric because of that. And that's what I was saying. Someone who considers that barbaric, it must be barbaric themselves. And that's why I say Christianity is evil, because they consider things that are righteous and honorable evil. And if you consider something good evil, then you must be evil. Because the enemy, the friend of my enemy, or the enemy of my friend is my enemy. The friend of my enemy is my enemy. If you consider something good evil, you're evil. And if you consider something evil good, you're evil. I mean, I don't know how that's not common sense, or I mean, I can't explain it any other way. It's the most simplest form I can explain it in. But in Native American traditional views, rape is a grievous crime against the individual, family, and the spirit of the entire tribe. It damages the spiritual balance not just of the victim, but of the whole community. Justice was often swift and communal. In many traditional societies, the offender could be executed by the community if the crime was severe enough, especially in cases of murder, rape, or child abuse. It wasn't always about revenge, it was about restoring balance and protecting the people. Individual vengeance was discouraged because of the risk of making yourself spiritually sick, what some ancients call bad medicine. But no communal justice could happen. Personal justice was sometimes recognized as necessary, with the understanding that you would carry a heavy spiritual burden afterward. Life is sacred. Taking a life, well, I already talked about this, life is sacred, which means you don't desecrate life. And the ultimate goal is to restore harmony, not to stay in endless cycles of violence. Protecting your family and restoring balance is sacred. Taking a life, or desecrating a life, damages your spirit. So real life example from Native history. In many Plains nations, if someone committed a heinous crime like rape, the warrior society, a respected group of dog soldiers among the Cheyenne, would take action. They would kill or exile the offender. The Iroquois Confederacy, I cannot pronounce that. Women were powerful and had political authority. Rapists could be punished severely, including death, but always through the collective decision of the clan mothers and council, not individual revenge. Among the Cherokee, rape was a death-worthy crime, but again, punishment was done through the tribe, not personal vengeance, unless communal structures completely failed. So in America, we don't have justice. We don't have true justice for rape. And since we're on the topic of Native Americans, Native women, and I mean like, I just thought about this too, not that long ago. Native women are the highest. Native women have the highest percentage of sexual assault, human trafficking, things like that. Women. And I thought about it and I was just like, I always thought you had to be in a tribe, or like you had to be like obviously Native American woman to be a statistic. But no, if you have Native ancestry, it's like a generational curse. It's like an ancestral curse or something, because I don't consider myself. I mean, I consider myself Native American, but like I've had many people say like you don't look Native American, or like, are you sure you're Native American, or I had to explain to them, yes, I am Native American. But I've had the same exact percentage of that. I have been a statistic. Like, I don't want to consider myself a statistic. Just making sure it's still recording, but I don't want to consider myself a statistic, but at the same time, I don't think of myself as someone who could actually be and considered in the Native American woman, MIWG group, and I am. And it makes a lot of sense in my life. I guess this is like a subconscious thing. I don't know what it is. What is it? Why? I don't know. That's like, like I guess like, energy and spirit and energetic imprint leads itself on things, and the whole entirety of America has the energetic imprint of raping Native Americans, and so it just continues. And it doesn't matter if you don't have to show your rapist your Native American ID card. It's just the energetic imprint that happens. But it happened to me. My phone. Oh, it was still recording? What did I? I'm confused. Okay. Did I post? We didn't see anything weird. But I think. So I do have a little bit, like if you see like my blog from November, um, I do for National Native American History Month. I do talk about MMIWG, which is short for Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls, and I talk about that every November. And the statistics of it are huge. They're horrible to look at, and it's it's targeted. It's extremely targeted. It's extremely specific, and the numbers are probably a lot higher actually than that because even though the numbers are already high, it's actually probably a lot higher because of people like me. Um, and like I said, it's probably part of because I do believe in the energetic imprints and things like that. Like why, and it's energetic imprinted when colonizers came, they raped, took and raped and pillaged, and that it was such a huge and horrible traumatic event, and it just stuck, and it's repeating itself. It's like a ghost. It's a poltergeist. America itself, as a country, is um, possessed by a poltergeist. So many rapists are never charged, and my 10, 20 rapists in my life were never charged. Um, the rapist, my friend, never charged. I encouraged her to go to court, and I felt guilty about it. I was encouraged and pressured into it, and it didn't wasn't good for me. But I thought, hey, I'm here. You're not gonna lose. There's no chance you could lose. Because I was too naive at that time. I'm like, yeah, it's a problem in America, I guess. The rape culture and stuff, but it's not like that. It's like there's no chance. There's actually literally no chance that you can lose because of your situation and the actual what happened. Like for me, it was different because it was harder because I like started it, and I was high because that's what my detective said. It's like, oh, it's gonna be hard because you were high, and it's like I was high on weed, and I guess that's how this shows goes to show how different things are now. But wow, I would have lost my case anyway because I was high on weed. They want to do anything they can to make an excuse. Um, and I went. I think either I don't know if it was before or after my friend's case, but I went to a case and I saw one like on the TV. I'm like that stuff. The rape cases on TV, they're dramatized because it's TV. It's drama TV. It's not even true crime. It's NCIS or like SVU and stuff. That's dramatized. No, it's not. It's actually not at all. Like they don't even. I don't even think they put one even little drop of drama in it because the one case I saw, I'm just like, y'all are joking, right? You can't use that as an excuse of oh see, yeah he raped her, but she like literally almost. I think he was saying well she had a short skirt on. I'm like bro you're in a courtroom right? You're not at a church. You're in a courtroom. That was a lawyer saying that. That was his lawyer saying that. I'm just like I was so fucking confused. I was like bro what? I mean, you're fucking joking right now, right? That's real. That was a real case. That was a real case. The lawyer literally said she had a short skirt on. What? Oh man. And then she was like, well, my what do you call it, the person, the guy, he was like, well, you're saying that he can't go anywhere for months because he's in this case. Well, that's hurting him because he needs to go, he wants to go on vacation to this state or whatever. I'm just like, okay, and he raped somebody. Oh, who wants to go on vacation? Yeah, she probably didn't want to be raped at all. You ever think about that? Fuck what he wants. She wanted something too, and she didn't get it. So guess what? He's not gonna get it either. And that's the thing. Men aren't expected to grow up. Women always joke about men are so immature. No, it's because of you. It's because you don't give them. You give them the choice of, hey, do you want to mature in life and be an adult, or do you want to just play around and fuck around and have the freedom of a 5-year-old for the rest of your life with no responsibilities, no consequences for your actions? And guess what? Women will take all of your consequences. Okay, we'll take all of them for you. We'll take your consequences. You don't have to face the consequences of your actions. If women actually, that's the problem with women. We say, oh man, we need to protect ourselves. You need to make sure, like, oh, we need to make sure we have short skirts. No, if we actually took it seriously, or we took rape culture seriously and did something about it, instead of just, oh, well, it happens. It's not that big of a deal. It is. And we did something about it. If we actually try to do something about it instead of signing bills and trying to vote for the right person. If we actually did something about it instead of writing on a piece of paper, okay? If we actually did something, got up off our ass and did something, maybe there'd be like at least even 1% less rape in this world. Well, but no, we want to like, oh, you know what? This person, this president, is saying this. I'm gonna vote for them. See, I'm making the world a better place. It doesn't do anything. That doesn't do anything. And if you think it does, you need to learn reality. You need to go out into the real world. You need to step outside your little comfort bubble and look at the real world. You think because murder is wrong, that people don't murder? Somebody's got shot outside and killed. That person's gonna be arrested for second-degree murder. That guy is still dead. Like I said, if he was a rapist, good. Good. Justice is served. Because even if a rapist goes to jail, guess what? He's getting 3 square meals a day, a nice ass room, a bed. If I didn't want to go to college, and if I had no goals, higher goals in life, which most people don't, most people I've met don't, they're fine in jail. They're fine, trust me, they're fine. They have all the books they can read, all the entertainment, all the food. It's nice. And jail is nice compared to, for the fact that it's supposed to be a punishment is nice. Actually going to jail a couple of times has made it like I'm not scared enough anymore like I used to be. Like I'm a lot more closer to doing things like legal things now because I know what jail is actually like. I'm a lot more closer to going to jail now. Like the only reason why I don't kill people that are deserving to be killed is because I don't want to go to jail because I don't want to have a record on my case because I do have goals in my life. That's the only reason why I won't. But if I didn't have those goals, see, if I wanted to just, be a drug dealer, for example. I mean, people just say that. People are like, you know, how can you be a drug dealer? I can be like a business owner. If you want to do that, literally, jail isn't that bad. It literally is not. I've been there. Like, I was there for like 2, 3 months or something, or a month or two or something. It's not that bad. It's really not. And so, if a rapist goes to jail, he's getting a vacation. He's getting a vacation. I don't know about prison, but if he goes to jail, he's getting a vacation. He's getting a reward. And then when he comes out, he's gonna be smacked in the back, and he's gonna be joking and laughing to his buddies about he bagged this girl and how she lied about him raping her. And guess what that woman's gonna be? The woman's gonna be bullied, gonna be harassed, gonna be terrorized because she lied about this man. And when a woman speaks up about it, that's what she's told. Oh, you still have so much hate in your heart. It's because you have trauma. You need therapy. You're saying all this because you're letting your past and and what you've been through affect you. Well, good then, man. Maybe that is why I was given these opportunities. So I'm not a horrible piece of shit person that doesn't give a fuck about consequences or bad people doing bad things. I'm grateful that the creator gave me the trauma of these things, because if that's the only reason why I'm like this, then that's a blessing, not a curse. Because I have clarity about what's right and wrong. Because if anybody who actually if disagrees with me about this, I mean, there's things to disagree on. You know, there are things that you can disagree on with people, but this is not one of them. And if you disagree with me on this, you're a horrible person. You're dangerous to society. To society. And if you disagree with me on this, you're the one who needs therapy, and you're the one who needs the hospital because you are either a sociopath or psychopath or a rapist yourself. And the person who was fighting with me is one of those people. He has done a lot of horrible stuff in his life, and he continues to do it every day. So that's all I have for you today. And I just wanted to share this sermon, consider it sermon, uh, with you today as your friendly neighborhood priestess. Um, so this is one of the more harder ones to talk about and watch and deal with. But if you like more things like this, like moral views and pagan sermons, I suggest you like, comment, and subscribe, share with your friends. And I have some more videos like this. This is one of my hardest videos probably, but I have more videos about different things and like society and stuff like that. So thank you for watching, and blessed be. Bye.